Every January, millions of people set resolutions, and by February, most have quietly abandoned them. But here's what's interesting: the impulse to start fresh at the new year isn't just a cultural tradition or a marketing gimmick. It's deeply tied to how your brain organizes time and identity. And if you understand what's happening in your mind during these moments, you can use it to make changes that actually stick. I'm Dr. Tracy Marks, a psychiatrist, and I make mental health videos to help you strengthen your mind, fortify your brain, and build resilience. If you've watched my habit videos, you already know that tiny habits can change the brain over time. We've talked about repetition, consistency, and the compounding effect of small actions. Today, I want to show you how to apply all of that to a specific moment, the transition into a new year, because your brain treats this moment differently than an ordinary time. So let me tell you about some interesting research. A group of researchers at Wharton identified what they call the fresh start effect. They found that gym attendance jumps by more than 80% at the start of a new year. Google searches for the word diet surge, and people are far more likely to commit to goals right after certain moments in time. And these moments are called temporal landmarks. The new year is one of them, but so are birthdays and the start of a new month and even Mondays. They're points in time that feel like a boundary between one chapter of your life and the next. And here's why it matters for your brain. During these landmarks, your brain creates a psychological separation between your past self and your present self, and it mentally files away old mistakes and unfinished goals as belonging to a previous version of you. And that creates a powerful internal shift. That was the old me, and this is a fresh start. The result is a temporary increase in motivation and openness to change. And this isn't just feel-good thinking. It reflects measurable shifts in how people think about their identity and what feels possible. But here's an important catch. That window doesn't stay open for long. The same research shows that motivation drops steadily in the weeks following a temporal landmark. By mid-February, most people's brains have already settled back into their default patterns. So the real question isn't whether the new year is a good time to change, it's how you can use that window wisely. Most people waste it by trying to overhaul everything at once. Big plans, big promises, big expectations, and that overwhelms your brain. A much smarter approach is to use this brief period of openness to install a few small, low-effort behaviors that your brain can actually accept and repeat. You're not reinventing yourself. You're giving your brain something stable to hold on to while it's primed for change. Now, if you're looking for a structured way to use this fresh start window, I want to tell you about something I created specifically for this kind of reset. It's called Shine, a Guided Transformation Journal. It's a 12-week guided program that takes you through self-awareness, rewiring thought patterns, and building resilience. It's not a blank journal where you're left wondering what to write. It's a structured pathway with weekly exercises designed to create lasting change. There's also an optional audio companion where I guide you through each week like having a coach in your ear. For every week of the journal, you get a deep dive into the concepts and a mindfulness meditation that you can listen to instead of reading it. It's a great way to start the new year with intention, and it also makes a meaningful gift for someone in your life who's ready for a fresh start. Not just a resolution, but a real transformation. The journal is linked to this video. All right, let's talk about why this window works differently than other times. In my habit formation videos, we talked about how repetition rewires the brain through neuroplasticity. That science doesn't change. What the Fresh Start research adds is this: when you feel psychologically separated from your past self, your brain becomes more willing to adopt new patterns. It's like the difference between trying to renovate a house while living in it versus starting with a clean slate. And for a short period of time, your brain's resistance to change drops. And that's why the first few weeks of January genuinely feel different. Your mind is more open, but that openness fades. So the goal isn't to transform your entire life in January. It's to anchor a few small behaviors while the window is open. And once a behavior becomes automatic, it tends to persist even after that fresh start feeling disappears. So what should you actually do during this window? I'm going to give you 4 specific habits. Each one is designed to take advantage of this reset moment. And these aren't complicated routines. They're simple anchors that you can install while your brain is receptive. The first is the morning light anchor. Within the first hour of waking, expose yourself to natural light. Open the blinds, step outside for a minute, or sit near a window while you have your coffee. And this isn't about meditation or exercise, it's about setting your circadian clock. Morning light helps regulate cortisol timing and supports dopamine-related pathways, the systems that influence motivation and mood. This is especially valuable to anchor now because winter light is limited. You're establishing a practice that helps or supports your brain all year long. This works as a reset habit because it's easy. It requires almost no effort, and it creates a physical cue that tells your brain that the day has started. You're not adding another task, you're just being intentional with something you're likely already doing. The second habit is the single word intention. Choose one word that captures how you want to show up this year. Not a goal, not a resolution, just a quality. Maybe it's steady, or present, or deliberate, or even open. Each morning, bring that word to mind for 5 seconds. That's it. No tracking, no measuring. This works because it acts as an identity anchor. Resolutions focus on what you want to do. A single word is easy to repeat, which makes it easy for your brain to reinforce. The third habit is the weekly wins review. Once a week, for 2 to 3 minutes, write down 2 or 3 moments where you did well with a stressful or challenging situation. And this isn't traditional journaling, it's pattern recognition training. You're teaching your brain to notice resilience instead of defaulting to self-criticism. When you start this practice in January, you begin building a trail that you can follow back. By March, you notice progress. By the summer, you can see that you've navigated hard moments, and that record becomes a reminder that you've handled challenges before and you can do it again. The fourth habit is the environment reset cue. Choose one small physical space and reset it. Clear your desk, organize a drawer, create a dedicated spot for something that matters, maybe your journal, a book you're reading, or just a place for quiet reflection. The focus of this habit isn't cleaning or productivity. It's about creating a physical anchor for a psychological reset. Research shows that changing your environment can support new behaviors. Even small changes signal to your brain that something's different. When your environment reflects a fresh start, it reinforces the mental shift that you're making. So let's bring this all together. The fresh start effect is real. Your brain genuinely treats the new year as an opportunity for change, but that window doesn't stay open long. The key is to use this window wisely, not by trying to change everything at once, but by choosing a few small intentional habits while your brain is more open to change. Pick 1 or 2 of these and start them now. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Anytime your brain recognizes a transition, that reset window opens again. Coming up next, we're shifting into a new series on the science of love and connection. We'll explore how attachment shapes the brain, why some relationships build resilience while others drain it, and what healthy love actually looks like from a neuroscience perspective. If you want to understand how your closest relationships impact your mental health, make sure you're subscribed. Thanks for watching today, and I'll see you in the next video.